Hi, I'm George Beard. I'm head of new mobility at TRL, and we have a really keen interest in mobility hubs in terms of understanding their potential for delivering a clean and efficient transport system that's safe, reliable, and accessible for everyone. So, what are mobility hubs? Well, fundamentally, they're physical places where multiple modes of transport come together. And at the core of this is the provision of a mix of sustainable public transport services. So that might include traditional modes like bus and rail, and new mobility modes like shared cars, bikes, scooters, lift sharing, car or van pooling, and demand responsive transport services. But more than this, the Mobility Hub's concept goes beyond providing a core mobility offering and focuses on creating spaces which co locate those multimodal transport services along with other community enhancing facilities and features, including improvements to public realm. So, really, the idea is that they can offer flexible solutions which can be tailored to meet the needs of the local context, often serving as attractive destinations in their own right, not just places to pass through as part of a journey. The provision of sustainable transport solutions through mobility hubs can bring benefits for both the movement of goods as well as people. So, for example, through integration with consolidation services, hubs can be a key part of enabling adoption of zero emission last mile technologies and services. And where it really gets exciting in particular is thinking about innovative ways to tailor the design of the hub and associated services so that it serves a need from a number of markets in an optimized way. So, for example, this might be to do with integrating multi use electric vehicle charging stations, which maybe serve the needs of local delivery fleets or taxi services by day and the needs of local residents by night. Or it might be about coupling together shared e bikes and e cargo bikes and bike maintenance services to cater for the needs of both public users and delivery fleets, or other such hybrid approaches. Why are mobility hubs needed? Well, there's lots of underlying drivers for change, including the big ticket item on everyone's mind right now, which is climate change and the need to decarbonise. This is, of course, coupled with other issues faced by cities and towns like congestion and poor air quality and growing health concerns associated with physical inactivity. So, in short, transport's not performing as well as it should be. And in fact, it's causing a great number of harms to society and the environment. So, what we need is more choices and we need better choices. And crucially, we have to make it as easy as possible to shift the movement of people and goods away from internal combustion engine vehicles. And we also need to move away from the traditional model of big motor vehicles in general and instead utilize smaller, lighter, less impactful vehicles, which are more efficient, take up less road space, cause fewer harms. So, what are the challenges with delivering mobility hubs? Well, as described, mobility hubs have potential to be an effective solution for integrating those new zero emission mobility solutions for both movement of people and goods. But there's a number of key questions that must be answered to design and deliver an effective mobility hub solution. So, this includes, for example, what are the current and expected future gaps and requirements for transport provision? What are the site requirements and options? What is the demand for specific services from private and commercial users? What combination of mobility and related services are technically and commercially feasible? And what non-mobility related services and infrastructure would bring additional value? What things should be considered to make mobility hubs successful? Well, there are three things that I'd like to draw attention to. So, number one, there's a concept in computer science called rubbish in, rubbish out, which I think can be applied here. And basically, this states that if you input poor quality data, or perhaps worse than that, no data at all, then you're very likely to get inadequate outputs at the end. And so, mobility hubs are an attractive concept, but really the devil is in the detail, and the practical implementation of them can take a potentially vast number of forms. There just isn't a one size fits all here. And as I said at the start, that flexibility is a benefit, but it's also a challenge since it's essential that the design and operation of the mobility hubs is closely aligned with local context. So, really, this requires understanding the demand of users, both public and business users, the existing transport provision, the local authority vision and plans for regeneration, economic trends and constraints of particular sites, and so on. And to do that, we need to collect good quality data and analyze it in the right way to extract those useful insights. Number two, this can't be done alone. So successful hubs require collaboration and cooperation between multiple parties, many of whom may not be accustomed to working together under normal business as usual circumstances. And so depending on the objectives, design and operation of the hub, this could include a raft of public and private sector organisations, including local authorities, landowners, existing transport operators and those new mobility operators, aggregators and software platform providers, fleet operators, charge point operators, connectivity and network providers, logistics companies, and lots of others across the value chain. And so really by working together, all these parties can deliver a package of services which could really offer users convenient, simple, cost-effective and efficient transport. But all that's got to be underpinned by a viable commercial model, and building in the right mix of B2B, B2C, social services can really help ensure that long-term sustainability of the hub. Number three, hubs in transport planning terms are by definition part of a network, and this is crucial. So we're not going to solve any of our transport solutions with a single hub. And while one hub can provide sustainable transport options and other services, it will only really benefit those who are in close proximity to it. And journeys, of course, involve going from A to B. So we need access to transport at both origin and destination. And again, we have to make it as easy as possible for people to shift to sustainable transport. So this comes back to data again. We need an informed approach and a systems perspective to understand what is required for a minimum viable network of hubs and how this network will integrate with the existing transport system. TRL can help with all of these areas. We've developed a data-led service encompassing feasibility analysis, design, scoping, and stakeholder management services for local authorities and others who are considering creation of a mobility hub in support of their local plans. And we take a phased approach, undertaking local context analysis, site assessment and scoping, and user demand analysis to inform the design of the right mobility hub solution for the given use case, location, objectives, and circumstances. And so pulling all this together, we can help ensure that the design of the hub creates a clean and efficient transport system. Please get in touch if you'd like to find out more.